The tech world is moving fast, while Apple
is moving slow.
The iPhone 17 is set to go from this to this, and the internet is hailing this one of the biggest redesigns ever. Seriously? What would it take to get you to switch to the iPhone 17? Like seriously, what are the actual things that Apple would need to do to get you to upgrade to the iPhone 17 this year and make it exciting? I went back through a bunch of old videos. Hi Robert, little blast from the past. I read through a bunch of your comments, and here are 5 of the big takeaways that I saw from you guys on things Apple needs to do in order to get you to buy an iPhone 17 this fall. And hey Tim, take some notes. Also big thanks to Torres for sponsoring this video, but more from them in a moment. All right, so throw a comment down below right now and let me know, what phone do you have? iOS, Android, Apple, Samsung, Google, Xiaomi, what phone do you have? And where we are right now in the summer sort of is our best time yet to look at what Apple is planning for the fall, because usually by now everything is basically locked in, and with the iPhone 17, we kind of know all of the big features and changes this lineup is going to have, and it's probably not as exciting as many of you were hoping for. Yeah, we're gonna get this new slim Air phone. We're going to be getting at least some change to the design, at least on the back of the phone, some new colors, some camera upgrades. All that stuff is well and good, but I don't think it's what most of you want to see. I think many of you want to see something different from the iPhone 17 because what the leaks and rumors say we're gonna get isn't all that exciting. Which sort of leads me to the very first thing I think many of you would love to see. I think this is a big thing keeping people from upgrading to the iPhone 17 this year, and that is that the redesign isn't all that significant. If you look at what the Android phone world is doing, I mean, phones are changing so many times. It seems like every year, but basically every couple of years, designs are evolving, features are being added, removed. For better or worse, there is a lot of innovation happening in that space. And when you look at the iPhone, well, the 16 is close to the 15, which is close to the 14, which is close to the 13. There's just not a whole lot of change happening, not just year over year, but even look at 5 or 6 years of iPhone and not a whole lot has changed. What is the one exception though, and what many people point to as one of the best parts of the iPhone's history, was back with the iPhone 10 in 2017, because look at what happened between the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 10. This 1 year, 1 generation jump gave us one of the biggest, if not the biggest, iPhone overhaul ever that brought tons of new features. We ditched the home button, we got OLED displays, we got Face ID, we got this new, more premium phone. Yeah, the price went up, and I'll come back to price in a moment, but putting that off to the side for a moment, just that big design overhaul was so nice to see. It got so many people excited about the iPhone again, and I think that's what Apple's gotta do again to get people, Apple fans or Android fans, back in sort of the excitement mode for the iPhone again. And to play devil's advocate, I know that we're hearing the 20th anniversary iPhone is supposed to be the thing that's supposed to be more exciting and a bigger refresh. And I know that a lot of people are saying, well, look, on the other hand as well, how much can they actually do? We've sort of almost hit peak form. I think what a lot of people want is just a phone that looks and feels different. So if they could change the materials of the phone again, if they could eliminate the dynamic island and hole punch entirely and go with a totally notchless, super slim bezel phone, and maybe they add a camera lens in the back or something, some sort of combination of those things together, I think would lead to the iPhone 17 being way more exciting. Because, I mean, yeah, it's nice that we're getting at least some change with the 17 this year, but again, look at the 16 and look at the 17. Come on, this is not a major redesign. This is not what people want. With that being said, the second thing I think that Apple should definitely do, and one that has been floated from you guys in the comments below, is to utilize the Apple ecosystem to their advantage. Apple loves to tout their end-to-end control and the amazing experience, the magical experience it can deliver to customers. You've got things like Apple TV, Apple Music, Apple Fitness, Arcade, News. All of those things together are a lot of cool offerings, but you're paying on top of an already expensive Apple product to get access to those features. What if Apple was to just give them away for free if you bought an iPhone 17. And look, I get it. On one hand, Apple is certainly no charity. They're in the business of making money. But we already know that most of their subscription services aren't really a big money-making endeavor. They're not really making anything from these right now. It's more losing them money, trying to get people into the ecosystem. So what better way to get people in than to just give it away for free? Like, what if you went to the store and bought an iPhone 17, Apple gave you 1 year of Apple One for free? So you got all the TV, music streaming you wanted. Maybe they threw in some iCloud storage in there as well, because the base free offering is obnoxious in 2025. Like, what if you got the full-on Apple experience and you got it for free? Not permanently, but like for 1 year, I think would be a compelling thing that would get people excited and wanting to upgrade. Because hey, you know, if you're gonna go in and give everybody the latest and greatest phone to experience, well, why not experience the latest and greatest in terms of services that Apple has to offer as well? One of the things they could also do, and this might be even more interesting, is for the Android switchers out there, what if Apple was to give away a free set of AirPods or free Apple Watch? Which again, I know sounds crazy, but for the back to school promotion running right now, Apple is giving away free AirPods and other things to students. So what if you walked into the store and said, hey, I'm an Android switcher, I'm gonna trade in my phone and go with an iPhone 17, and Apple was to give you, for your sacrifice, a free set of AirPods or an Apple Watch. I know it sounds crazy, but again, if Apple is looking for ways to make the iPhone 17 compelling and exciting, I think for a lot of people, correct me if I'm wrong down below, some free stuff with your iPhone would be a nice way to really experience what the Apple ecosystem has to offer. Speaking of ecosystem, if you want to enjoy all that good stuff on your iPhone, you want to make sure your iPhone is not broken and protected in a good case. I actually got this new case that Actually, no worries at all. This is the Q3 Air from my friends at Torres. It's a great looking case. It also packs some insane military grade drop protection. All right, all corny jokes and kidding aside, I love the Q3 Air from Torres for a couple of big reasons. The main one here is that I feel like this case is delivering on the trifecta, the three big things. It's a great design, super sleek, super modern, beautiful colors. It's got some insane protection built in while also being very sleek and slim. And also it's versatile as well, because Torres is the #1 company behind MagSafe stand cases. Of course, all of your MagSafe accessories are going to work well here. But there's also a really nice built-in stand so you can put your phone up horizontally or vertically. And my ASMR friends out there will love this. So satisfying. The side buttons will look great, but you can also swap them out if you're looking for sort of a different accent color. Also, speaking of the sides, there's this nice sort of textured like dot, little like grippy material that's nice because it makes the phone, I feel like, more comfortable in the hand, and also gives you like a little bit of extra security, like it's not gonna go flying out of your hand. But maybe the impossible happens, maybe pigs are flying in the air and you're going crazy and your phone just goes flying. You don't have to worry because of that insane built-in protection. Your phone's gonna be safe and sound. In fact, the case integral to the design is this air cushion system that's going to seamlessly absorb shocks from an impact that again is going to give your phone the protection it needs if it's flying on carpet or on concrete, and also is going to keep the phone case as well very slim and lightweight. So you're sort of getting the best of both worlds. Simply put, the Q3 Air from Torres, again, is the trifecta. Great design, great built-in drop protection, and also it's got that really nice stand here and MagSafe support for super versatility. And especially right now, I feel like with the iPhone 17 on the horizon, if you're looking to get at a good case for your current iPhone to make sure it's protected so you can trade it in and get the most amount of money possible, this is an excellent way to go. Whether you're looking to keep your phone for the next 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 years, this is my recommendation. So if you want to learn more, check out the Q3 Air from Torres. Link is going to be right down below. Check it out for yourself today. For point number 3, I want to come back to specs for just a moment. I don't want to get bogged down into this, but I do think specs play a factor in getting people to upgrade, specifically because Apple has done such a good job with their silicon and its efficiency and things like that, that a lot of people have maybe a generation 2, 3, 4 iPhone, or not like actual iPhone 4, but like 4 generations previous, and they don't feel a compelling reason to upgrade. If your camera is good enough and your battery life is good enough, you probably don't feel like you have to get a new phone. So maybe Apple could be a little bit more compelling in terms of specs. I think that, what we're seeing this year in terms of camera upgrades are solid, 48 megapixels across the board on the back, 24 megapixel selfie camera on the front. But if Apple was to give us maybe a slightly thicker phone and double the battery life, for example, of the iPhone 17 series, that might be enough of a reason for some people to switch. Again, I know specs aren't everything, but Apple does so many small spec changes every single year that if they were to do something significant, whether it was, kind of, again, I just go back to the 7 to 10 example and, going from LCD to OLED, if they could do something like that again with some huge generation to generation technological breakthrough, that might get some of the people more excited, whether it was maybe doubling the refresh rate from 120 to 240. I mean, this year we're finally going to get promotion on the base phones, which is great. Maybe it's insane battery life, maybe it's something else with the silicon. Just specs, I know aren't everything, but I know for some people, they are very, very important in the decision-making process. So if you do care about specs, what is the most important spec that you'd want to see to get you to upgrade to the iPhone 17? Of course, again, I'm open for feedback. Drop a comment and let me know. And then going back to price, my suggestion number 4 for Apple would be to incentivize people to upgrade by finding out a way to make the price point more appealing. Of course, Apple's gonna be Apple. They're gonna have crazy prices. They're gonna sell $3,500 headsets. That's just what they do. But if they can find a way to somehow make the iPhone more appealing in terms of price, that alone I think would be a big deal. It would be a lot more acceptable to upgrade your phone for, maybe $10 or $15 or $20 a month than going all in on $1,100 or $1,200. Maybe what Apple needs to do is figure out a better way to incentivize people to trade in their phones and get a new one. Like maybe they could, not even saying it in a bad way, but like artificially boost the trade-in value. So if you were to upgrade from like a 14 to a 17, the difference would be like $200 or $300 or something like that. Carriers do this all the time because they're in the business of trying to get people to stay on their contracts and on their plans. And Apple, while they're not like an equivalent, maybe this is a way that they could get people to stay in the Apple ecosystem. And with that, number 5, I don't know. So I gotta ask you guys, what does Apple need to do to get you to upgrade to the iPhone 17? Are you going to buy now? Are you going to wait? Are you gonna skip this entirely? What does Apple need to do to make the iPhone 17 compelling for you? These are some of the suggestions that I saw and some of the ideas I had, but I want to know from you guys, what do you think? Drop a comment down below and let me know what I'm missing. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully Tim was taking notes. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle. I'll see you guys in the next one.